Yo guys, what's going on? This is Yokiman here and welcome back to another episode of my Football Manager 2019 save here with Sporting Lisbon. This is the first official episode after the introduction. We're going to play the first game of the season, so our first ever game technically on Football Manager 2019. We're also going to run through the transfers, which is always my favourite part, and there's been quite a few changes. We're going to play against Portimonense today. They're freshly promoted and I'm holding out for a win. For what I'm looking at, I mean, apart from maybe possibly Braga, there are really only 3 teams in this league. That realistically are only 3 teams. And it seems like Benfica and Porto, unless they make late on transfers, because obviously the window's open until the 31st in Portugal, they've been weakened. You could potentially say we've been weakened with the business that's been done, but I don't know, so far I'm pretty happy with the changes we made. So let's go into the transfers. I am also scouring right now to try and find the next Bastos. Because the man's 29. I'm easily going to get another 2 seasons out of him after this season. But I need his protege. So, first of all, you will see that we brought in 22 million and only spent 6. It wasn't a big spending window. I didn't feel like there's one thing I will say, there's great youth here. So I didn't feel like prioritising bringing in a player over a youth player. We couldn't really bring in anyone mega to replace the players we let go. And to be honest with you, I'm not too displeased with the players we've let go and the money we've made. A lot of these early players, so like Douglas, Petrovic, Bruno Cesar, Josip Misic, none of them were ever going to play. So to get some good money for them, 1,400,000, 950k, eventually rising to 1.1 million on Misic, they just weren't going to play. This geezer, he's gone out on loan. I don't think he'll ever play for the club. He's a striker. Pedro Marquez on loan, and then the big one for us. At first, I didn't know whether I should accept it. Sebastian Cortez clearly was our best centre-back. I'm still a little bit annoyed. I feel like maybe I should have held out for more money. And maybe I jumped the gun. He'd been off all pre-season. He was on holiday. Obviously, I'm assuming he was with the World Cup squad. And what's cool this year, you don't get them back at early pre-season. So he's never actually played for me. Not in pre-season. So, I don't know. I just didn't feel like... He's good. He's very good in terms of our team, but we have good enough. And 16 million. I don't want to be a selling club, but 16 million for someone of his. And I really wanted to bring the wage bill down. I think until we're in the Champions League, we shouldn't be spending so much money on players. In my opinion, we shouldn't be spending massive amounts. So yeah, we let him go. You may hate me, but I'm happy with the business. Roman Salen. Random goalkeeper, and then some more players out on loan here, and then we let Jerry Matthew, I can never say that, it sounded definitely not French, but we let him go. 34-year-old, he was being paid a big chunk of wage, a real big chunk of wage. I don't think he did okay from last season, but again, I would rather play younger centre backs, and we certainly have better left backs than him. So yeah, I was quite happy to see him go as well. 2.4 million. So all around we made some money, but the biggest key thing, especially when we look at the scouting, is the wage budget we've freed up. 134k I have on the wage budget now, and 13 million to spend. And I don't really think I'm going to do any more business unless someone pops out. Maybe a couple of youngsters will come into the squad, but I don't really anticipate that we'll do too much business whatsoever. So let's look at our side of things. Riyad Boudadous, I think I said that right. He came in from Real Sociedad, the Algerian. I don't know why his stats going down. Maybe he's not training well at the minute. I personally like him. He's someone who I would have potentially looked at signing, but unfortunately these things don't happen. We brought in, I'm going to call him Beb. Yeah, I'm going to call him Beb. The 28-year-old Brazilian on a 4-year contract. He was backup right back, but he could easily play right back for us. 100% could play right back for us. I'm really happy with this piece of business. He's a good player for the Premier Division. Martimo, he came in 1 million, 1.3 I think after 300k after 50 games or something. Very happy. Miguel Bertos came in on loan. He's a bit of an older player, but he's only on loan and he's only backup, so I'm quite happy with that piece of business. Lucas Piazon, I ummed and ahed about this one. I'm a fan of the guy. I think he's left it too long. Well, potentially left it too long. He stayed around at Chelsea and did the usual thing at Chelsea, be loaned out and loaned out and loaned out and loaned out, played a lot of Championship football, a lot in the Dutch League. So he's not hugely rated on this, but I think he's good. He's got good qualities. He had a good pre-season, and we didn't spend that much on him. 1.8 million. For me, that's not a lot. Volante, I don't know how we found this kid. He looks brilliant. He's got 5-star potential. Doesn't show that. This should be fixed, in my opinion. I should be able to see. Can I see? I can see now. He has actually got 5-star. Well, he looks like he's going to be brilliant for the future. Good youngster. I like his work rate and his teamwork. They're quite key for me when it comes to building a squad, especially a squad where we're looking at playing a gegenpress. So I want people who are going to put the effort in, as well as having a good bit of stamina and pace and whatnot. So I like him, a good 18-year-old central midfielder. And then Nicola Maras. Again, the guy came up out of nowhere. I think he's a very good defender. At 22, he's not that far off what Cortez was. He could easily get there. His heading's not as good, but his tackling is only one stat behind, and his marking too. So he's not too far off. I quite like him. He's got good jumping reach. Again, the work rate's pretty decent. His positioning, he seems like he's going to be a good central defender for us, the 22-year-old Serbian. And if not, I think we'll make a pretty penny off of him. And we didn't pay a lot again, 2.5. There were a few players I looked at, but I'm not going to pay big fees for players in this first season. This club needs to build its balance up if we're ever going to compete in Europe. But great youth system, I think. So our overall balance now is 21 million. So we've doubled it. You know, we've doubled it in the time we've been here. And like I said, we've got a great wage budget, so the board should love me. This could all go downhill, though, when we start the season now, and it goes terrible. Oh, schedule before we get to that. I do apologise for the clearing my throat consistently. Still full of cold, will probably be full of cold for the rest of my life. It never seems to disappear. We started off against Sporting Lisbon under 23s. We beat them 5-1. Bastos with a double. Douglas on goal. Jovan Cabral, who looks very good, and Freddie Montero, who I don't want him to go. I quite like him as a utility player at backup. He won't sign a contract, but it says he's going on a free, but he hasn't signed for a club, so I don't know if that's a glitch or not. We then beat these guys 5-1. Bastos, Nani. I realised I had no idea, and I should have known. He was at Valencia, wasn't he? So I said in the Lazio last year. So I said in the last episode that, you know, Sporting maybe big fans. I know he was like a thing back in the day, discovered from Sporting. You know, Man United seemed to raid Sporting at that time period. But we're going to keep him at least for a season. I did try to get rid of him. Nobody wanted him because he's only recently just signed, so I do apologise for that. But we will keep him for now. We then drew against Malaga. Not bad. Malaga recently relegated. Should not have been relegated, really, let's be honest. Cordoba, we beat 2-1. Bastos and Miguel Luis, a youngster. It looks like he's going to go out on loan. He has gone out on loan. Good. There's so many good youngsters, especially in the midfield position. We're blessed here at Sporting. In the next 5 years, we are blessed. We then beat Cadiz 2-0. We basically went on a tour. You know, I haven't taken much away from the results. But if I'm being honest, I imagine the top-end Spanish second division sides are just as good as the mid-table Portuguese sides. That's kind of where I'm at. That's what I imagine. We beat Cadiz 2-0. Marcos Acuna and Lucas Piazon getting his first goal. We then beat Almeria 2-0. Lucas Piazon with a penalty, and Abdoulaye Diaby, who, if he wasn't my third choice striker, I haven't brought another striker in yet, but I can guarantee now if I do, he's probably going to be gone. There isn't much room for him in the squad. He's taking up 13.5k, and I think if I could get 3 million for him, that would be a good deal for us. I just can't see him playing much. Obviously, he is our third best striker. Like I said, if we bring another striker in, I'm only really going to be playing one striker this season, and touch wood, my God, Bas Dost doesn't get injured, we should be fine. Then we played against Empoli. Empoli, to me, are a team that are definitely top tier Portuguese. They're not the top three, but they've got some good players on some good money as far as I know. So, let's just have a look at some of the starters. I'm just going off, price. Let's just have a look. They're a Serie A side. I think these 100% are a top, or at least a top end Portuguese side is my comparison. It was a neutral stadium, so I have no idea why. But we're beating 3-0 anyway. Babbling, as per usual. Beb, again, getting the call. Great. He's played great at right back. I'm really glad I brought him in. It made me question, I'm not gonna, but it made me question of getting rid of Stefan. Getting rid of Stefan. It made me question it because he's played really well. I've been really impressed with him. Bas Dost still and Freddie Montero getting a goal. So it was a first half takeout, and I was pretty impressed with the way we performed. We then played against Numancia. We beat them 1-0. Rafinha. It's the first goal he scored all pre-season, but I'm happy for him. The problem is his nanny's playing on the left, and Rafinha's best position is the left, but he's being forced to play on the right. But anyway, guys, we're away. Let's get into the game against Portimonense because I have babbled on for long enough. The first video was 21 minutes long. The second video does not need to be 21 minutes long. So let's instantly team selection, clear entire team. So we know one thing: Bas Dost is starting. I think for this game, we're going to go with Nani on the left and Rafinha on the right. Our attacking midfielder is going to be Bruno Fernandes. Box-to-box midfielder would be Stefano. Is going to be Wendell and a ball winning. Do I give it to Rodrigo? Nemanja, he's been good, but I just have that begrudging feeling that he's on loan and we do have talent here that we should probably be using. So let's give it to Rodrigo. Right back, because he played so well in pre-season, Beb is getting it. And left back, again, Jefferson played really, Bruno Gaspar should technically be our starter, but Jefferson played really well in pre-season, so he's going to pick it up, 30-year-old, and then Nicola Mares. And then it's between Pinto and Marcelo. I'm going to go with Pinto. So he played well, and our sweeper keeper is Viviano. We are 100% going to have to pick up a keeper at some point, which is going to be an issue. Let's fill the bench up. I think Gaspar, because he could play both sides, makes more sense there. We do have a big squad, so I'm still in a position right now where I'm still potentially loaning players out and still trying to thin the squad down. The squad overall, because the under-23s is huge as well, definitely needs some thinning out. Montero, Piazon did have a good pre-season. Bourdous I would like to get on the bench as well, to be fair. Acuna. 7 subs. Why can't it be Italy? There's so many more in Italy. Let's go in Nemanja. It's going to be our bench. That was tough. I didn't expect that to be so tough because there's some good players being left out. It's just pure and simple. There's some good players being left out. I think still before the window is done, a few players can go. I still think there's a few players that can go. So that's going to be the starting side. We're going to start with the gegenpress. Just so you know, we do have a vertical tiki-taka. I haven't played with it too much. I'm trying to see how it works with what the computer actually gives you tactics-wise, which seems to have been good this pre-season if you kind of work out what your team's good at. We played okay in this one, and I like 3 at the back with the wing backs. It became my go-to formation. I haven't admitted that it was 3 up front, but I just don't. We've got too many midfielders that need to be utilised. We haven't got massive strength in centre back, and we don't really have much strength up front. So this gegenpress for me is probably what we need to play this season. So are we happy with that? I am happy with that. It's the first game. A little bit nervous because pre-season's been really good. For pre-season to have been so good, to come into this and we could just be awful. Still haven't got a player faces yet. I'm still waiting on the new computer, so I think there's no point on this one. Let's have faith. Assertive. Let's have faith. Let's try passionate. Bastos. He's really going to have to be the talisman out front. I do believe, though, that Nani and Rafinha can get goals. Bruno Fernandes can get goals. They're going to have to this year. I'm going to play it on Key. And Key seemed to be okay in the friendlies, but there were a lot of goals. So I guess in a game that doesn't have many goals, that Key could be pretty boring and monotonous. But we're going to see how it works out. And hopefully we play well in this. I'm hoping the pressure works and this tactic works. Everyone around the board seems to have pretty good work rate and, decent stamina. I picked these players to potentially be able to play a gegenpress just because personally I think it's a great formation, that a great tactical style, hopefully could pick up a win today. Rafinha. I'm expecting big things of the 21-year-old. Again, I don't want to be a selling club. That's really what I want to steer us away from. But at the same time, with the way the league is, not necessarily the way the league is, there is money in this league, but financially where the team is, go on Wendell. He's going to be big for us this year. Happy days. I'm happy with that. 1-0 up. 7 minutes, 8th minute. 1-0 up. Get in. I like the way it looks this year as well in 3D. I think I'll always be a 2D guy. I just love I don't know, it's just a nostalgia. I love 2D, but I think 3D this year definitely looks better. I do like the dynamics of the kills on the ball and stuff. It just seems more fluid, the gameplay, when you're watching it. I'm sure I've seen some terrible goalkeeping so far, so there is still issues. But yeah, I don't want us to be a selling club, but at the same time, we won't be held to ransom. I don't want players on massive wages when we're not doing well in Europe. If we start qualifying for the knockout rounds and so on and so forth in the Champions League, financially, we can then take that hit. That'll be a difference. But for right now, there's too much youth here to have prima donnas around on big contracts. 100% too much. Great youth here. So I'm going to stick to my guns. In the past, in series, I've signed not terribly. I think I signed well in Leon, but I've gone all out and made the big signs. But in this one, we're going to be more methodical. We're going to go with, players that fit into the squad, the way I want to play. So things are going well, but I know he's capable of better. It's all well and good, but Rafinha doesn't, to me, look good. He looks nervous. Let's go calm. I'm not happy because I'm not at 6.3. I'm not happy. Bas Dost. All it takes is that opportunity, but I'm not happy with his performance either. It's not good enough. So the jury is still out on the press. For me, the only issue I have with the press is it doesn't really fit Bas Dost's playing style. He's up this. Really, I'd want to press him forward. Oh no, Pep! No, really, I'd want to press him forward. I like that for me, defensive forward didn't make sense. Pressing forward is something I will definitely use, or complete forward. And let's change him to complete, but he can't really play that position. So this is why Gaspar is on the bench. Beb, I hope it's not a big one. Potential foot. That always sounds great, doesn't it? Potential foot, instantly. Devastated. Hope it's not a bad injury. While we're at this point, guys, I hope you are enjoying episode 1 and 2. I think it's the quickest turnaround I've had on episodes. There's not even been 24 hours in between, which makes me feel good. I think it's just an enjoyable time to be playing the game this year. I'm in a position where I can make videos more frequently anyway, regardless. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this save this year. I think there could be a good few seasons in this. I am looking to do multiple saves though. I'm one of those people, I'm already planning the next one. I've only just started the first game of the season. At this one, already planning the next one. And I will be honest, Malaga is one of the teams I wouldn't mind doing. But Dost, just over. Just over. I think we make another change here. I'm never going to bring the man Bastos off. Rafinha though and Nani, they're not playing well. I'm going to put Rafinha. No, I'm not, am I? Can Boudou's play that right side? Well, we can play it okay. Bring Rafinha on the left as a winger, attack, and Boudou's on the right. Nani's not giving me any call to be keeping him in the squad. I'm going to play Boudou's as a support. Let's make that change. Why is it paused? Please don't tell me someone had just got injured or sent off. No? I confirmed the changes, didn't I? I don't think I paused it. Does it automatically do that now? I don't think I paused that. But let's nick another goal. I'd like to be more convincing. Rafinha. Bastos. Play that back out to Jefferson. Rodrigo. Wendell. Nearly second. He's going to have to be good this year. I definitely think Wendell's going to have to be good. I'm nervous about how we play. Hang on a minute. That's not... Hasn't made the change. It's just swapped them around. I'm confused. This is definitely a bug. Now is it going to make the change? I think that was a bug. So it said the change had been made, but Boudou's hadn't come on. Gaspar. Giving him space. Nani's still on the pitch. Fernandez. We've got a bit of room here. Wendell. Mahrez. Jefferson. Rafinha. Can't get to it, and this is the problem with the gegenpress. It's been the only problem pre-season. Great goalkeeping by Viviano. They need to do better. I think we're going to look to shore up now. And this is what tactic number 2 is here for. Fernandez for Wendell. And yeah, I'm quite happy with that change. Jefferson. Let's bring a Kuna on for Jefferson. Now, for me, he could play in this position. His marking's not great, but his tackling is good. And his crossing, dribbling, he can easily get down that wing, so he can, for me, play in that position. Marcos Acuna is another player I've toyed with letting go. He isn't going to get massive amount of game time, and I think we could get big money for him. Valencia and Leon want him. I'm talking 20 million. I would definitely let him go. Let me know what you think about that, guys, but I would consider it. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Another goal just to shore things up. Bastos. Let's get Bastos a goal. He can't get on it. Wendell. Plays that again. Gaspar. Wendell. Fernandez. Oh, he hits the post. Oh, how unlucky we are. I mean, look at this. 18 shots, 7 on target. 11 fouls. Possession-wise, we've stolen it. I mean, like I said, it's a newly promoted side. So it definitely should be a game we're dominating. But they shouldn't still be in this game. They shouldn't still have the opportunity to be in this game and get a goal and turn it around. Fernandez. Rodrigo. Boudou's. Who can he find? Fernandez. We short things up now, so it's more of a passing style. Rafinha, great off the ball run. Find Bastos. He takes too long. It's going to go in still though. Boudou's. Good save. It was lovely, but I think Rafinha just stalled on that ball for too long. I've also found that near enough every game has had 5 minutes of stoppage time. I don't know if that's a thing. How have we dropped down to 6th? That many teams winning? Right, okay, so we won. It's our first game we won. I think tactically we still got a set in. I wasn't happy, especially at the half or with the majority of the game, of Rafinha and Nani. Neither of the wingers played well. No one in a wing position played well, and Bas Dost wasn't fantastic either. But it's a win. First game win. Wendell played well, man of the match. I'm happy. I can take that. But like I said, guys, key highlights. That seems to me that key highlights are a lot longer. None of the big boys played. So, so we're the only big team that's not on TV this time. Okay, I see how it is. That is. So it's split. All those teams. There was 2 draws as well. So obviously this season they want us to get top 2. I think that's going to be a big ask. I think top 2 is going to be a big ask because Benfica and Sporting do have very good teams. I'm hoping they have a dreadful season. One of them has a dreadful season. Absolutely fine. We take their place. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching this episode. I'm going to go back now and try and figure out the rest of the transfers. But I'm pretty sure we're quite set. But make sure you smash the like button on this one, and I'll catch you in the next one.